Good day, guys. This is your tutor engineer. Today we are continuing with our series of data handling. Today we'll be discussing how to calculate approximate mean. That is when your data is given in groupings. So let's start with today's lesson. The following table gives the percentages of learners who wrote a life science test. Calculate the approximate mean. First, let's talk about how we're going to approach this. So when you're talking about the approximate mean, it's when your data is given in groups, like if you don't want to say groups, like intervals. Okay, so let's start by writing the formula for the approximate mean. It's going to be the sum of the midpoint multiplied by frequency divided by the sample size, which is n. So okay, let's just start with the low-hanging fruits. And we've discussed it before that when you are given frequency, you'll be able to calculate for n. It's actually the summation of all your frequency. So we're going to sum the frequency column to get the n. So basically we have a 0 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 8 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. So which gives me a 40. That means my n is 40. Now let's calculate how we're going to get the midpoint times frequency. You already have frequency here. It's given to us. Now we need to get the class midpoint, and then we're going to multiply the midpoint times the frequency. Okay, let's get a class midpoint. The class midpoint, you're basically going to use your grouping. So to calculate the midpoint, you have a 0 plus 10. It's going to be an average. The midpoint 0 plus 10, which is just going to be a 5 in this case. So when you get a 5 times 0 on this column, that's when you multiply your frequency and you multiply by your midpoint, you're going to get a 0. 5 times 0 is 0. So okay, let's calculate the midpoint for the second line using the interval 11 and 12 and 20. You basically get the average between 11 and 20 to get to the midpoint, which is going to give us, what is it, about 15.5. Then you multiply the 15.5 to a 3 to write and populate the right hand column, which is going to be 46.5. Okay, so the pattern goes the midpoint for 21 and 30, it's going to be 25.5. So 25.5 times 4 gives us 102. And then the midpoint for here, 31 and 40 is 35.5. So we multiply 35.5 by 5 frequency, which is 5, then you get 177.5. And then here, I hope you can see the pattern for the midpoint. So 44.5 times the frequency of 8 gives us 356. Okay, so and then okay, in fact here supposed to be 45.5, right? 45.5 times 8 is going to be 364. Just get rid of this, and here we're going to write 364 Here the midpoint for 51 and 60, it's going to be 55.5. Multiplying that by 3 gives us 166.5. And then the following line, 61 and 70, midpoint will be 65.5. Multiplying that by a frequency of 3 gives us 196.5. Okay, so here the midpoint is going to be 75.5. Multiplying that by 4 gives us 302. And then the midpoint for 81 and 90 is going to be 85.5. Multiplied by 6 gives us 315. And then finally, between 91 and 100, you're going to have 95.5. Multiplying 95.5 by a frequency of 4, we get 382. Okay, so by summing all the values on this particular column, that means you are able to get the numerator, the total that you're going to divide into to get the approximate mean. So now let's sum all the values here. First, you've got 0 there on top. Then you've got 46.5 plus 102 plus 177.5 plus 364 plus 166.5 plus 196.5 plus 302 plus 315 plus 382. The total gives me 2250. So let's calculate the mean. The mean would be equal to 2250 as a total divided by the sample size 40. It's gonna give us 2250 divided by 40, 56. Okay, so we have a 56%. Okay, remember the units, the groups are measured in percent, so that's why you have to maintain the unit of 56%. So that's how you calculate the approximate mean. We'll end our video here for today. So if you like my video, if you like today's lesson, please subscribe so that I can produce more similar video. And don't be shy to like. So we'll talk again next time and when we meet again. So keep well for today until we meet again next time. Cheers.